Okay, so good morning or good afternoon. We are in Shul Shareh in fancy Lawrence, fancy Five Towns. So we know that this parsha is devarim, and there's a lot of tochacha. The first few weeks of devarim is going to be a lot of trying to recreate really what took place in the midbar beginning. There's a new generation. A lot of people did not see, or they were too young to remember Har Sinai, Kriyas Yamsuf, Mechemes Amalek, some of the Averis that the Jewish people did 39 years ago, 40 years ago. So the purpose, the first few parshas, first few psukim especially, is to go through these places and the Averis that people did. Maybe they didn't do, maybe they were too young, but to kind of recreate what took place. They shouldn't forget it. And someone yells at you, and Moshe is going to, someone gives tachacha, you remember it. I remember when I was yeshiva with the Weinbergs, that's how yelled at me a couple times. You don't forget those things. So I'm sure when the people heard Moshe Rabbeinu speak, and 30 days before he was about to die, you don't forget these things. And some of these pieces that they talk about, paran and tofel. Paran and tofel. So Rashi has one explanation. Tofel is the man. Paran is this. And Kli Yakar says, paran and tofel. Paran is Tisha B'Av, and tofel is Shavuos B'Tammuz. Shavuos B'Tammuz, we know that they were tofel, they were shetaflu, that they served with the zara. The Chet Egel took place then, and the luchos were broken. And Tisha B'Av, there's the second day, that's the second place. Beit HaMetzarim, that's why we kind of talk about these Beit HaMetzarim, these two places, these two areas, that's where the Jewish people lie. They lie between. We, to this day, we go between these two places. We're constantly sad. We're constantly in mourning. These two areas, Shavuos B'Tammuz and Tisha B'Av. And these two things that Moshe is trying to show them, that the lack of Emunah Hashem, Avodah Zarah, led to Shavuos B'Tammuz. Moshe Rabbeinu threw down the Luchos, the Avanim. So thousands of years later, the Babylonians were going to break down the stones, the rocks of the walls. And the night that we cried, because Sinas Hashem must hate us, because Hashem took us to this horrible place. And the Kli Yakar says that the way you view God is how you view other people. If you have a hatred of God, you must be a really hateful person. You do horrible things. Hashem does terrible things to me. People are horrible. It's one and the same. The way you treat Hashem is the way you treat people. If you love Hashem, you love people. So Tisha B'Av, the night that they cried that Hashem hated us, is the night that Sinas Chinam started. The night that they cried for things that had no basis. Hashem didn't take them out of the midbar from being slaves to kill them, but they didn't see this. They didn't see the importance. They didn't see the recognition of Eretz Yisrael was going to be. They thought that life here was much better in the midbar, and they cried. They cried over it, even though they saw great miracles. Oh, it's hard to imagine, but we cry Tisha B'Av now. And the Kli Yakar says in another place that the first sin, the three big averos that caused the first korban, it's been fixed, because the raya is the second Beis Hamikdash was completed, so therefore the sin's completed. Unfortunately, the second korban we still have, which means that the sin of the second korban is still on us in Eschinam. A few months ago, someone I know from the shul there, 3 months ago, I was in Rome, and for the first time, we know that Rome is the Gemara talks, besides the strong Beis Hamikdash, Rome has this, they're on this balance, this fulcrum against Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is high, Rome is low. Rome is high, Yerushalayim is low. So I was curious to see what the status of Rome is, what's going on. And yeah, Rome's a beautiful city. And one of the differences, the ruins that they have, they're keeping. You can't take anything sharp or anything, metal detectors going to the Colosseum. You have to be patted down to go into the area with the plaza. You go to see the Vatican, you gotta, as opposed to Yerushalayim, you go today, you could barely make down the steps. So about 2 weeks ago, I was at the bris. It's going to be Goldstein's son's bris, Yehuda Goldstein's bris, and I went to the Kotel before. And you can't make it down the stairs because they're building. And there's an elevator that's going in place. There actually is a contrast. The ruins that they have, they're keeping, and the ruins that we have, we're building. Yerushalayim is being built. A lot of people, houses going up, different areas. But one of the interesting things that occurred to me is that it's easy to have us, when you go and you see the Arch of Titus, you see the menorah there, the shulchan, on the wall, in the arch, and then you go to the Colosseum and explain that the money from the Churban funded the Colosseum. It's easy to have hatred for these Romans, newfound hatred of what took place, what they did. There are Jews that were living in Rome before the Churban, and to see this parade and them carrying the menorah, it must have been the most devastating moment, obviously, in their lives, and something that would plague you and haunt you forever. And so it's easy to find hatred. So it's easy for me to walk into Tisha B'Av and say, you know what, this year is a lot different because I was in Rome and I saw, what they did with the kalim, what they did with the money. They built these things, but it's misdirection, really. It's misdirection. It's the Yetzer Hara talking, because you don't hate the Romans, you hate yourself, hate us. Actually, it's hatred that caused this. I was thinking, your house falls down, termites or something like that, or it falls down, something happens. You blame the termites, you blame this. No, you blame yourself. You didn't take care of something the right way. You can't blame another force for doing this. That's nature. Hashem puts these things in the world. Hashem put hatred in the world. And if you take care of yourself, you do the right thing, it won't affect you. If you don't do the right thing, it will affect you. So this hatred of Romans and Babylonians, it's really misplaced. You got to look in the mirror. The question is, what are we doing to kind of see this, to kind of look at this? So I took upon myself 3 weeks ago to kind of put more chesed for 21 days. Shabbos Thomas and Tisha B'Av. Because I read I can't even say who I got it from. But if you're Misabel Yerushalayim, then you see Binyanav, B'yamav. You see it in your days. So what does that mean, in your days? So past 2,000 years, people did chesed. They were failures. Well, on some level, yes. In Beit Mikdash, but B'yamav. If you're Misabel Yerushalayim, if you're really trying to bring back Yerushalayim and you're sad, and you're trying to find the fix for it, then you'll see it's building in your days. Not your days, meaning your own days, your days. If you're trying to find areas to fix the sinas chinam, you're trying to find areas to increase the havas chinam, and you do it, there's a certain simcha that you're going to have in your days. And my day is a lot different. Trying to look for chesed, trying to look for opportunities to bring chesed. It's something that I've been trying to do 21 days, and I'm trying to do it before, and something that we should really try to do. There's some people that go out of the way to look for chesed. Some people just go out of the way not to do chesed, and some people just okay, guys collecting, I'll give. If no one comes collecting tzedakah, do you still give tzedakah? It's still a mitzvah to give tzedakah. Okay, guy collects, but you go out of your way. Do you go out of your way to give rides to people? Do you have these, some areas have these chesed groups? Do you look for ways to do chesed? Do you greet people in shul? So it's not just the opportunity comes along, but do you find these ways? And that's, I believe, a way to increase the havas chinam. Speaking about the Kli Yakar, a couple of days ago I was in the white shul, Beis Medrash Sephardi. They have an hourly ma'ariv. So I went there, and I had a book I was reading, Sefer, and I hear a guy in the corner talking about the Kli Yakar, and I jumped up, and especially was this guy, and we're talking and this and that. He's a big Kli Yakar guy, and I told him that I learned Kli Yakar, and I said, also Ephraim, I don't own one. I go, you know what, I'm going to buy you one. He's like, what? Yeah, I'm going to buy you a Sefer. Never met this guy before. And so next day, so I got a Sefer, sent it to him, brought it to him, so happy. So again, not that he needed it, but just to go out of your way a shtickle and to bring us chesed. Now, I don't know if we'll be friends. Hopefully we will be friends. Maybe I'll get a chavrusa shop with this dude, Leiby, I'm not sure what his name is. But this is something that we have to try to do, to try to really go out of our way to find chesed, find opportunities for chesed. And then if Beis Mikdash does come, we'll all be happy. But if it doesn't come, at least b'yamav, we'll see a rebuilding in our lives. Will be the rebuilding of Zion. This is what Hashem wants. Hashem wants us to bring Zion, bring Beis Mikdash. And if we don't have it, at least b'yamav, at least for ourselves, we'll be zocheh to see binyan of Mashiach, of the Beis Mikdash. Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully we'll have Mashiach before Sunday. Those people in Eretz Yisrael, text me after Shabbos if we still have to fast, because you're going to have Tisha B'Av 7 hours before us in fancy Flatbush. So please let us know. This way I don't have to fast. But any event, have a meaningful fast, and we should all be zocheh to see the binyan. But remember, it's only with Avas Chinam, trying to reach out and do more chesed for people. Shabbat Shalom.